What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is, I guess, tournament Saturday, a Saturday tournament, whatever you want to call it. And this is a deck I am really thinking about using for Nationals. I know this time around it's Saturday and Nationals already happened, but this is probably like the number one or number two pick of my choices right now. And this is a deck that I've been working on. It's a Hawlucha Raichu Crobat deck. Now let's see here. We have Raichu here with Circle Circuit. This tag does 20 damage times the number of your bench Pokemon. And you combine this with Skyfield, which lets you have 8 Pokemon on the bench. You can do 160, and with a Silver Wrangler, you're doing 190, which is pretty cool there. With the Crobat and Golbats, if you drop a Golbat and a Crobat the same turn onto a Pokemon, you can do 240 damage, which knocks out a Primal Groudon or a Primal Kyogre, which is pretty cool there. We play one Execute because of propagation. Once during the turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put this into your hand. And this is so you can propagate, or let's say your opponent like counters your Skyfield with something. Alright, so you put your own Skyfield down. Now you can propagate and put it onto your bench and have an easily one-spot Pokemon. So I guess at all times you have like technically 6, because you always have the egg in the discard pile ready to go here. We have 2 Hawlucha here, and this is for Aegislash. Aegislash is going to be a really big card at Nationals because Raichu is doing so great at Canada Nationals. It has the Flying Press, which is 60, but it can only attack Pokemon EX. But when you combine this with the Silver Wrangler, you do 90, and then you can do some Crobat and Golbat max and actually knock out an Aegislash, which is pretty cool there. Or you can two-shot them with Hawlucha if you need to. And also, you can attack him on the first turn because it only needs 1 energy. If you look the Raichu, you can attack with Pikachu. You can Nuzzle if you want to, or Quick Attack. But you can Hawlucha turn 1 for Flying Press, which is pretty cool there. 3 Shaman, so you can set up there. And the point of it is to draw through your deck pretty fast and just kind of bench a bunch of basic Pokemon and then start using Circle Circuit, which is pretty cool there. And also, you can use Sky Return 30 or turn this Pokemon all cards attached to it to your hand. We play a 4-3-3 Crobat Golbat line. Golbat, of course, has Sneaky Bite, put 2 damage counters down, and Crobat put 3 damage counters down on one of your Pokemon. And that's all the Pokemon you play in here. There's some lists out there that are playing like Suicune, there's some that are playing Leafeon, some that are playing Yveltal, Yveltal EX, Kecleon. There's a lot of different stuff you can play in this deck, but this is what we're going with right now. We have 1 Sacred Ash in here, shuffle 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck, and this is when they play a Skyfield and you have to discard Pokemon, you can get them back. I opt to play a Scoop Up Cyclone here, and just put one of your Pokemon at all cards attached to it into your hand. You can use this for Crobat, but a lot of times I'm using it to pick up Shamans. You can Scoop Up Cyclone as Shaman if it's in the active spot. If you look here, Raichu has a free retreat. The Golbat, Crobat, Zubat line have free retreat. Hawlucha has free retreat. The Shaman has a 1 retreat cost, and the Egg has a 1 retreat cost. So if you start with either one of those, you can't really retreat it without having to waste the energy on them, and you don't want to do that because you don't have a lot of energies in this deck. You only play 8. So you just want to Scoop Up Cyclone, up a Shaman, and or an Egg if they get stuck in the active spot, or you can pick up a Crobat line if you need to. For Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards in your hand, search deck for Pokemon, and when you combine this with Execute, you only have to discard 1 card, which is pretty cool there. 4 versus, you get to reuse the supporters, 2 cores, shuffle your hand in your deck, then draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. And this is really good because you usually have a full bench of 5 and then plus your opponent's side. 2 Lysander to bring up opponent's bench Pokemon, 4 Juniper. Some people will say that's a lot, but where I live at, there's a lot of Seismitoad here, so you don't have access, you can't really use the Verse Seeker, so you heavily rely on in Juniper and Colress early game, or in a Juniper early game. Which is something you need to do. That's why I have heavy in there. If I was going to Nationals, I'd probably cut an N for Mr. Mime, just because Landers is probably going to see an increased play. But with Landers, it's probably going to see Silent Lab, which shuts down Mr. Mime, which is something you have to watch out for. That's one of the things I'm worried about right now, is this deck does so great at Canada. People are either going to play it or counter it, and that's, I don't know, it's scary. 4 Juniper, discard your hand, draw 7. 4 Skyfield, which, fills your bench up to 8. Silver Wrangler does 30 more damage to Pokemon EX. And 4 DCE and 4 Fighting Energy. And that's the deck right here. With the Fighting Energy too, you can use the Skill Dive and or the Sneaky, or Supercross here. Supercross does 10 to all your opponent's Pokemon, and Skill Dive does 30 to one of your opponent's Pokemon, which is pretty cool there. And that's the deck. I really do like it a lot. It has a lot of good matchups. It struggles a little bit against Landorus. If you don't get multiple Raichus down, or multiple Pikachus down, they can easily snipe them off if they start playing Wide Lens, which I would guess they would say, I would guess they would start playing Wildlands. I wouldn't see why not, because that way they can snipe a Pikachu and another Pikachu. But that's the deck, and I really like it a lot. And we're gonna see it here in this tournament. We'll see how it goes. All right, thanks for watching, and look out for the other videos.